Good day everyone, I am Khrisea Joy A Rosello from 2C3 and today I am going to discuss everything about volleyball including the history, the rules and regulations, the court dimensions, the officiating and the game. We all know that volleyball is one of the most successful and popular competitive and motivational sports in the world. But before anything else, let's have the history of volleyball. So volleyball was invented in the year 1895 by William G. Morgan, the physical director of the Young Men's Christian Association. It was designed as an indoor sport for businessmen who found the new game basketball too vigorous. Morgan called the sport mintonette until a professor from Springfield College in Massachusetts noted the volleying nature of play and proposed the name volleyball. July 7, 1896, the first game of volleyball was played at the Springfield College. In 1897, the original rules were written by Morgan and printed in the first edition of the Official Handbook of Athletic League of the Young Men's Christian Associations of North America. In 1900s, a special ball was designed for sports. In the year 1907, volleyball was presented at the Playground of America convention as one of the most popular sports. In the year 1916 in the Philippines, an offensive style of passing the ball in a high trajectory to be struck by another player were introduced. The Filipinos developed the bomba or kill and called the hitter a bomberino. And also in the year 1916, rules were issued jointly by the YMCA and NCAA. In the year 1922, the first nationwide tournament in the United States was conducted by the National YMCA Physical Education Committee in the New York City. The United States Volleyball Association was formed in 1928 and recognized as the rules-making governing body in the United States. From 1928, the USVBA, known as the USA Volleyball, has conducted annual national men's and senior men's aged 35 and older volleyball championships except during 1944 and 1945. Its women's division was started in the year 1949 and a senior women's division aged 30 and older was added in 1977. Other national events in the United States are conducted by members groups of the USAV such as YMCA and NCAA. In the year 1917, the game was changed to 21 to 25 points. In the year 1947, the Federation Internationale de Volleyball, or FIVB, was founded in Paris. In the year 1948, the first two-man beach tournament was held. In 1949, the first World Championships were held in Prague, Czechoslovakia. In the year 1960, new techniques are added to the game like soft spike, forearm pass, blocking across the net, and defensive diving and rolling. In the year 1969, the Executive Committee of the NCAA proposed additional of volleyball to its program. In the year 1990, the World League was created. In the year 1995, sports of volleyball was 100 years old. So, let us now proceed to the volleyball's rules and regulations. First, we have the number of players. In general, team must have at least 6 players to start the match, and at least 6 eligible players, substitutes, players or subs, to play the match. There are 6 players on court for each team during the match. In serving rules, the actual serve. The server must toss, for example, release the ball, and then must contact the ball behind the end line in the service area located behind the zone 1, usually a 3-meter wide area. Neither foot may touch the line during the contact. In the case of jumping serve, the jump takeoff must be behind the line as well. Next is that no screening allowed. The players on the serving team must not arrange themselves on the court in such a way as to block the view of the server or the ball, nor wave their hands or make any distracting movements. Variations. There are so minor volleyball rule differences regarding the toss of the server. In FIVB, university and high school matches, the server must hit the ball within 8 seconds after the referee whistles for service and only one toss is allowed. For players under age 14, example middle school, the time is 5 seconds from the whistle but the server may have a second toss if the first one was not effective and lands without touching the service. Player service rotation and positioning rules. Each team has 6 players on the court at any one time. At the start of the game or set, each team coach arrange his or her players in the zones of the court. This arrangement dictates the rotational order of the teams when they are awarded the serve either at the beginning of the set or after a side out in which the team who served the ball to start a rally loses the point. The diagram below shows the order and flow of rotation. You can see the court's position and the rotation direction here. Maximum of 3 hits per side. Player may not hit the ball twice in the succession. A block is not considered a hit. Ball may be played off the net during the volley on or serve. Ball hitting a boundary line is in, while a ball is out if it hits an antennae, the floor completely outside the court, any of the net or cables outside the antennae, that referee stand or pole, the ceiling above a non-playable area. It is legal to contact the ball with any part of the player's body. It's illegal to catch, hold, or throw the ball. If 2 or more players contact the ball at the same time, it is considered one player and either player involved may make the next contact provided the next contact isn't the team's 4th hit. A player cannot block or attack a serve from on or inside the 10-foot line. After the serve, frontline players may switch position at the net. At higher competition, the officiating crew may be made up of 2 referees, line judge, scorer, and an assistant scorer. Next is the court's dimension. As you can see, we have here the court. The volleyball court dimensions of the playing area are 18 by 9 meters, circumscribed by an area of free zone with a length of 3 meters on all its sides. The volleyball court is rectangular in shape and is symmetrical. The free zone just above the playing perimeter is devoid of any kind of obstructions. The free playing zone is placed at the height of at least 7 meters from the playing area. However, according to the rules and regulation, the free zone must be located at least 5 meters away from the sidelines and 6.5 meters from the end lines of FIVB. Worlds and official competitions, the height of the free playing place from the playing zone is required to measure at least 12 points. The playing surface of the volleyball court must be flat, even, and horizontal. There must not be any kind of obstacle present within the volleyball court, and the surface should neither be uneven or greasy. Slippery or rough surface hinders smooth movement of the ball and the players. Height dimensions of the volleyball net. The height of the net is marked at 2.43 meters for men and 2.2 meters for women from the center of the court. Its height above the sidelines must not exceed 2 cm. Structures of the net. The net of the volleyball court is 1 meter wide with a length of 9.50 to 10 meters constructed of 10 cm square black mesh. So we have here the lines of the court. All the lines within the volleyball court should be 5 meters in width. The color of the court lines should be white and must differ from the rest of the playing area or other lines. Next is officiating the volleyball game. In playing volleyball game, the duties and function of officials should be defined because it is important for each player to know the limits of the authority and his relationship to other. The officials are composed of first referee, second referee, the scorer, and the linesman. We have the first referee. The first referee is located at one end of the net. He carries out his function seated on standing on a referee's hand. The first referee directs the match from the start until the end. He has the authority over all officials and the members of the teams. During the match, his decision is final to sanction misconduct, to decide upon defaults, and he has the power to decide any matter involving the game, including those not provided in rules. Second is the second referee, the assistant of the first referee, but has also his range of jurisdiction. He controls the work of the scorer. He checks the actual position of the players during the match. He decides and signals position faults, contact of the player within the net, invasion of the opponent's court, attack, hit, or blocking fault. He supervises the team members on the team bench. Next, we have the scorer. And the obligation of the scorer is to keep the score sheet cooperating with the second referee, to control the serving order to each team indicates any error to the referee immediately after the service hit, to record the timeouts and players' substitution their number and informs the second referee, to notifies the referee of requests for interruptions that is out of order, and to record the sanction and warning and penalties. And lastly, we have the linemen. The linesmen stand at the corners of the court on the other side from the service zone diagonally at 1 to 2 meters from the corner. Their functions is to signal whether the ball is in or out, to in charge at the end line signal the foot faults of the server, and lastly, at first referee's request, a lineman must repeat his signal. And lastly, we have the game. Volleyball is a sport played by two teams on a playing court divided by a net. There are different versions available for specific circumstances in order to offer the versatility of the game to everyone. The object of the game is to send the ball over the net in order to ground it on the opponent's court. And to prevent the same effort by the opponent, the team has 3 hits to returning the ball in addition to the block contact. The ball is to put in a play with a service, hit by the server over the net to the opponents. The rally continues until the ball is grounded on the playing court, goes out, or a team fails to return it properly. In volleyball, the team winning a rally scores a rally point system. When the receiving team wins a rally, it gains a point and the right to serve, and each player rotates 1 position clockwise. That's all, and thank you for listening.